Welcome back to part 4 of OnlyFleets vs. Phoenix Coalition. The siege continues as the Keepstar timer ticks down to its hull. OnlyFleets, resilient and determined. Shadow Phoenix Coalition as they try to defend one last time for their Keepstar. Their systems on the brink of collapse and their intentions hitting the spotlight. This now puts pressure not just on their sovereignty, but potentially the alliance itself. So sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Because this is Warlock Industries, providing cinematic battles and semi-reliable reporting. Straight from the front line! Meant to be a final stand instead became a slow erosion of morale as fleets clashed, disengaged, and quietly faded from the field. The defenders burned out fast. Phoenix Coalition's resistance thinned with every exchange, their defensive posture collapsing as victory for OnlyFleets became inevitable. What followed was little more than the last holdouts, a handful of ships fighting on while the rest scattered. Above it all, OnlyFleet's titans loomed on grid, unmoved, unthreatened, and entirely unbothered by what remained. With victory on the horizon, the only thing remaining is the Keepstar. It cracked and burned before fading into oblivion, marking a hollow victory of what once was. OnlyFleets now turns its attention toward Phoenix Coalition's staging system, where Synergy of Steel keeps its own Keepstar anchored. No longer a symbol of dominance, but a final slab of steel. The last line of defense standing between them and total collapse. the Keepstar is gone, and OnlyFleets weighs its next move against Phoenix Coalition, the story doesn't end with the explosion. As we covered in the opening episode of this series, we examined the forced implementation of ESI, presented as transparency, sold as security, and wrapped in the illusion of being heard. But when you start looking through the cracks of the alliance, a very different picture begins to form. Behind the scenes, elements of Phoenix Coalition were handed a Keepstar under an investment agreement. The idea was simple: use it to grow the alliance, strengthen infrastructure, and repay the investor in return. But without anything firmly in writing, that agreement slowly dissolved into conflicting stories, shifting explanations, and convenient amnesia over what the Keepstar was ever meant to be. The scope of the problem ran deeper than structures alone. Conversations surfaced involving massive dreadnought loans, escalating SRP costs, and repeated requests for more funding as the alliance edged closer to bankruptcy. With OnlyFleets already knocking on the door, leadership began reaching outward for help, accepting aid wherever it could be found. In the end, those who stepped in to help were left burned. Investors, allies, and even line members paid the price, while leadership attempted to juggle assets, rewrite narratives, and survive by deception, all while never wanting to actually pay anything back. And in a twist that feels all too familiar in New Eden, those doing the screwing were ultimately screwed themselves. But the question still remains: were these assets used, or were they pocketed for their own personal gain?